Have you ever questioned why things are the way they are? Why stuff just happens to be the way it is? Why is it that things go down the way they go down? And trying to figure out, is it to help it or is it to ruin it? Sometimes I just sit here and look at these sunflowers here that I don't know what's going on here, but there's just a massive abundance of them starting to pop up in just very strategic places that just, I know that this is the best place for them to be. And the birds have decided to put them there, and they happen to be here to be able to have the best chance of being able to grow. And I've noticed that just sitting here really studying them, that they grow a very specific way, that they have these little sharp, like thorny looking things. They're not hard for me to touch, but it has to be hard for another insect to figure out how to be able to walk its way up this plant. That it's just, everything about it is set up so right to make it function, make it blossom, make it just grow to be the best of the best. I wonder, do things just happen like that for us as human beings as well? The same way that everything in nature seems to just want to work out to figure out to be the best, as opposed to just being good enough. Because these plants want to be the best. They want to be the strongest, the healthiest, the largest, the ones that can produce the most, the ones that can have the most seed, the ones that can just spread the most. That's what everything out here in nature is all about. Every animal out here is looking for that. Every tree out here, every grass out here, every flower out here is growing to be the best that it could possibly be. And then so that it can let off the greatness behind it to make sure that it can keep on growing and growing and growing, to have more and more and more of it. My name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr. and I was born July 4th, 1986. I don't know what's going on out here today, but it's a beautiful sight that all the flowers are really starting to bloom. Everything is really starting to grow. Everything is really starting to just be so magical in a way that I could just see an overabundance of everything that just a couple of days ago I was kind of worried if this backfield back here would even come back, because I utilized my animals to put them back here in a way that kind of overworked it, kind of did too much. But I realized that overworking and doing too much, it has still come back, and it's come back 100 times better in reality. And it's coming back with new things and exciting things that are just starting to just really make everything out here just so much better. It's just something that I just really noticed about everything out here. And just these simple sunflowers that I thought there was just one or two plants back here. I didn't realize like this is just turning into, at some point, if this keeps going, this is going to turn into a sunflower field that the birds have put together and been able to make to be able to have the better existence on this planet. That they put in something, they put in some sort of work, some sort of dedication to be able to have themselves a better case in the future. And I just noticed as us as humans that used to be the logic that I've just noticed that I feel like we used to be about it, but all of a sudden nowadays we just don't quite do that anymore. And a lot of times all we're thinking about is a monetary thing. I need to have enough money so that I can have the money to be able to give to this and give to that. And it's something very interesting, because it's something interesting I was reading today of the whole concept of hard work and hard labor and doing all that just so someone can come behind you that is more likely going to ruin it and destroy it. Even if they do something great with it, it's like you did all that for what gain, for what reason? Where it's kind of almost in a way meaningless, because you're working so hard for something and not really paying attention to what truly matters. That you're trying to gain stuff, you're trying to gain items, you're trying to gain popularity, you're trying to gain fame, you're trying to get celebrity status. And you realize that once you get it, what's the point? What does it matter? Who cares? Who cares in the end once you're gone and once you move forward and things move forward? And just think about old celebrities back in the days of how many you even pay attention to anymore today, as opposed to how great they were in their time in that moment. That there may be snippets here and there you hear about somebody, but how often do we just talk about it all day, every day, and think about how great and how amazing and how awesome and how wonderful and what they did and how they did? And it's just very interesting because things could just come and go. They come and go. And it's just for me to sit out here and look at all this, just to think like the things that are coming and going, they're setting up in a different way. They're setting up in a different way than us as human beings do. Where these birds have put these seeds here to have it grow in a certain way to be able to make sure that they're going to be good to go in the future. Even if they don't get it, that someone else is going to be able to get it. And not in a way of being able to just survive, but in a way to actually thrive. And that's something that I just have really been questioning a lot today in this past week, and in reality, majority of my life. Is what is it that we should be working so hard upon to leave behind that is of significant value, that is something that is going to be able to bring an excitement, a fantastic future, a beautiful way of living, a good understanding into the future, as opposed to thinking that you're going to give somebody some money or some land or some items or some stuff and thinking that that's what people are going to remember you by. It's just for me to really have a good understanding of knowing that the only way that we're going to be remembered, and not that we should even be remembered, because that's the main thing that I want to talk about here in reality is the concept of making sure that the main reason, the main thing to be able to make sure that you can have the freedom and the success that you're looking for is to make sure that you're remembering the one God that I just have a good understanding of knowing. That some days I try to even challenge and I push back and I give a little like kick on my own thinking with what it is that I'm doing out here and what it is that I'm speaking about and what it is that I'm still continuously keep pursuing and what it is that I'm just extremely passionate about. That I challenge it and I push back at it, and the only thing that comes back to me is the pushback of I'm doing the right thing and I'm on the right route, and the only thing that I should be worrying about promoting and moving forward is the name of Jesus Christ, and having a good understanding of knowing that is, for me, just especially today, of having a good understanding of that is just it. That's the way. That's the thing that we should be focusing majority of our time on pushing forward, as opposed to trying to push your own self and your own name and your own things and your own items forward. Because when you have that behind you, you got God behind you. When hey Oreo, all done. When you have that behind you, you have something to be able to push on to the future of being able to allow them to be, hey Oreo, come here. To be able to allow someone to be able to have Oreo, have what they want in the future, to be able to have the opportunity to be able to grow. Come here. Get down. But trying to think that you're going to save up enough money, you're going to save up enough land, you're going to save up enough animals, you're going to save up enough resources of any sort of thing, anything of the land, anything about here, you're never going to be able to save up enough to be able to make sure that the people in the future, your generations to come in the future, are going to be able to have a successful life. Because everything always runs out on the material world out here. You are never going to have enough that's just going to be forever. And the only thing that I can say that I just know that is going to be forever are the stories and the way of being, and what is it that you're doing for others that's representing who Jesus is all about. And not even worrying about yourself and who you are and what you're all about, because in reality, we come and go so fast. But God is forever, and God is always going to be forever, and he was always from the beginning, and he's always going to be to the absolute end. And that's the main thing and the only thing that we should, as a people, really be focusing upon, trying to transfer to the next person, trying to transfer to those that are confused, trying to transfer to those that are questioning, to transfer to those that are doubting. Because as much as that I can say that I try to doubt, like I almost try to force myself into doubt, I try to force myself and that can't be real, the more that I just come to realize, it just keeps verifying to me that this is just real. That I can't explain what it is that has this massive transformation that has happened to me. That some of the stuff I can't even publicly speak about because it could put me literally in a sticky situation. That certain things have just happened to me that I can't put into words, and that's how amazing and how great it is. That I have come from a completely different way to being into a completely different system of life and seeing a completely different world out here and being able to experience something completely different. And nobody could have gave me enough money for that. Nobody could have gave me enough time for that. Nobody could have gave me enough of their resources for that. Nobody could have hugged me enough. Nobody could have told me they loved me enough. Nobody could have done any of that for me to be able to get to the point and being able to do what it is that I do today. The only thing that's been able to do such a thing is when I just bowed down, I gave my life, and I said, Jesus, you got me. You got me, right? Now let's start moving some things. And then I just realized, like, that is what it is. That is what happened. That is the way things were able to transform in my life. That is the way that I've been able to grow and been able to continue to keep growing and been able to keep on growing in a way to make sure that I can spread the seed of everyone being able to have a good understanding of knowing who Jesus is, so that you can finally be able to get out of the chains and get out of slavery that you're a part of and that you're in. That's something that majority and all of us should really start to be trying to do and pursue for most every single person on this planet. Instead of thinking that you're going to be the one that's going to be the savior of the world to be able to change some things, and that's where you're going to start to run into sticky situations of you're a god and you being the idol. Hey, Johnny? And that's something that is not going to be able to bring any sort of success and any sort of clarity and any sort of greatness to the next people to come. Because everything about you, and it's unfortunate, and it's hard for me to even accept this before months ago, about the whole concept of whatever it is that I do on this planet, it's not gonna be there forever. But the one thing that I do know, and I know for a matter of fact, that if I can convince and speak to and be able to share certain stories and certain understandings about what it is that I've gone through and whatever it is that I've been through, to be able to help the next person be able to get into that same place, that's all that matters. Don't worry about me. Worry about Jesus. Worry about God. Worry about figuring out how to be able to consume yourself with the Spirit inside of you to be able to have a direct line of communication so that you can be able to have the access and availability that you're looking for. That we're all going to be having struggles. We're all going to have doubts. We're all going to have problems. We're all going to have issues. But those issues are much better better when you have the understanding of that God is here to assist you through those things. He's not here to damage you through those things. And also at the same time, knowing that some sticky situations come to us and not thinking that it's some enemy or some bad thing. The sticky situation may come to you to figure out how to be able to help you, guide you, to push you into being a better person on this planet. And that better person, it may seem like a horrible thing of a life existence for you. And that's kind of some stuff that I've seen with my life, that certain things, certain tragedies have happened to me, that it's not a bad thing that has happened to me. It may seem bad in the moment, but once you start to get through it and get past it, you start to realize that those things are actually amazing. Those things were amazing or wonderful, and I don't ever want to forget it. There's days that I've said, like, please, I just want to forget this, but then I have to retract that instantly and say, I don't want to forget it, because if I do, I may do it again. And that's something that is very powerful to me in my life, that I want to remember all the crazy stuff that's happened to me, so that I don't go in it again. I don't make it happen again, so that I can move on to something completely different. Because if I don't remember it, I'm going to be so quick to just fall right into it. And falling back where I used to be from would be a dangerous thing for me. I know, like, I 100% know. That'd be a very dangerous thing for me and for everything that's around me, that I wouldn't want to be in that world. And I'm so glad that I'm not a part of that, because of what Jesus has been able to offer to me and being able to do for me and being able to bring a line of sight to me. That I'm not the one that I want anybody to remember. I'm not the one that I want anybody to look at me and say, that Mr. Mark DeBose, you said this to me and you helped me out with this. No, I'm just a person in between to be able to get you to the main source and the main reasons behind what it is that I've been able to see and what it is that I've been able to do. And for me, that's to make sure that I keep saying to you that Jesus is the way, I'm not the way, and you're not the way, and nothing else out here is the way, and no one else is going to be able to give you the way, and you're never going to have enough resources to make the way. You're never going to have enough opportunities to make the way. The only way is just having a good understanding of laying your life to that, to be able to experience in a completely different mindset on this planet. That when you want to keep rejecting it, you're going to keep on just struggling and living in strife and living in chaos and living in just disagreement. But when you really do understand it, you're just going to say, you know what, I see what you're saying, and I don't care. I'm just going this way, and I'm firm with going this way, and I don't care even if you say that this is stupid. I'm still this way. I don't care if you say this is meaningless. I'm going this way, because what is meaningless is working so hard on this planet and realizing in the end you got nowhere, because that's where we all go when we work really hard. What really is meaningless is having so much wisdom that you just know everything, you got it all, and then in the end you end up dead anyways, because that's just what's going to happen to all of us. You know what is worthless? Meaningless is us just working to the death, working so hard and just giving all of our life to that and not actually paying attention to what does matter. All of that it just comes and goes. Us as people, it just comes and goes. But there's one thing that's just consistent, is being able to have the opportunity to be able to be a person, to be able to see the transformation and to be able to see the grace and be able to see the love and be able to have the faith to be able to push that along to someone else. And even if it's just one other person, and even if that one other person is just only yourself every single day. That's what I just personally feel like with what it is that I do out here. That I don't see it as anybody is even coming along with me in reality. I see it as I'm coming along with me, being able to move into the right direction, into a better direction, to be able to have something different than whatever it is that I used to have. And that one person is me. And that's something that I would want more and more people to be able to just have with your own self inside of you, knowing that you may not bring another person along with you. You may not be able to get another person to understand anything that's going on and how to be able to explain it correctly and how to be able to do anything right, but you have yourself. And you got God. And those are the two things that kind of we should focus more upon with pushing out to the world, of saying this is how you can break away from all the drama and all the negativity and all the backlash and all the just drama and all the jealousy and all the rage. It's just to focus on you and focus on God and get yourself in a good place. And then you're going to be able to allow yourself to be able to communicate to people in such a way that's going to be able to just, it's so messed up that I say it today and it's still sticky, that I don't care what it is that you do, that I'm doing what it is that I got to do, knowing that I'm on the right path, that I can't force, I can't control, I can't manipulate, I can't do any of that to get you to understand what it is that I understand, to get you to do what it is that I do, to get you to see the world the way that I'm able to see the world. I see the world in a completely different way today. I mean, a complete different way. I can't even talk about no 180, no 360. I see the world extremely different. Like I got spun completely around, and now I'm here, and now I'm able to see something that is of nothing that I used to be able to see. And I would want more and more people to be able to have that opportunity, to be able to have that vision, to be able to see what it is going on out here, as opposed to just being in what I see as a small box of just dealing with the things of the world out here, but start to deal with things that are much greater and much more expansive than just something so simple as something that is just right here, right now for us to be able to see. And that's something for me that I'm going to say for a 100% matter of fact that Jesus has been able to help me out with. And that's the main and the only reason I was able to get out of the problems that I was in, because I was in such problems. I was in a box, I was in a funnel, I was in a doing what I think and thought I was supposed to be doing, going the route that I thought that I was supposed to be going, as opposed to just doing what it is that I need to be and should be doing. And that need to be, should be doing is being able to speak something to somebody that maybe if you don't take it, you don't take it, but at least putting it out there so that you can have the opportunity, and being able to speak something and stories about my life and stories about what has happened to me to be able to hopefully be able to get you to see something and hear something that you've never seen and heard before. That I'm not out here to try to take anything from you. I'm not out here trying to get anything from you. I'm not out here trying to steal nothing from you. I'm not out here trying to get you to fund me so that I can build this and do this and go here and get this push. I'm not out here to do any of that. I'm out here to just keep doing what it is that I'm doing and be able to just give to you in a way. Give to you when you say I'm hurting, I'm hungry, I need a place to sleep, I need a this. That's for me to just, oh, here you go, I got you. That's no problem. I can make that happen. I don't need you to do anything to try to get that, grow that, and build that, and buy things for me and do things for me. None of that needs to happen for what it is that I have a good, clear understanding of with being on this planet. And with that, I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for those who are close to me, who are doing things for me, who are people that are being kind to me, who are people that are trying to see me get better, who are trying to help me be able to really push further with what it is that I'm doing. Trying to get more intelligent, more confidence and more willingness and just more practice with being able to move forward with where it is that I want to be able to move forward with. That I'm not perfect, and I'm never going to be. That I'm going to have times that I just give a little bit of backlash. I'm going to have times that I give a little bit of attitude, but I just do know that that's not a forever and an all day thing. That I've learned how to stop that. I'm so thankful for that. I'm so thankful to just get out of my feelings and my emotions and being able to see the bigger picture here, and the bigger picture of understanding that not everybody wants the same stuff. And I'm going to keep doing what it is that I'm doing to make sure that I can have what it is that I'm looking for, and not try to take from you what it is that you have to get me to see what it is that you do, or you to see what I do, and try to just do any of that. I'm just so thankful to be out here. I'm so thankful to just see how the world works and how it functions and how everything out here works with each other, and how every little part is here for a reason. That every little piece that's out here is needed for me to be able to survive out here, for me to be able to thrive out here, for me to be able to do anything out here. And it's just an absolutely amazing thing for me to just be able to have and be able to play with. I don't know people, but one thing that I do know, for a matter of fact, is just when I stand here and see just this growth of stuff that goes on, see the differences of that's changing, see the differences of the weather that changes, see the differences in how the animals act and how everything goes on. That is something that has really been able to just amplify my life just exponentially in a way that just really excites me, to be able to allow me to be able to just relax and calm down and see the true beauty out here. And not trying to be so focused on what more stuff that I can get to be happy, but just what more can I grow from, in reality, from the dirt, from the nothing, to be able to just see and be able to get more experience. And that's something that has been able to just, for one, transform my life, and two, been able to just let me see the maze out here, because I get to see the cycles. I get to see it grow. I get to see it start from nothing, and then I watch it die, and then I see it do it again. And that's something that I just know as we as human beings do. And the main thing that I do notice about everything that's out here is the main message is all of just trying to do more and be better and have more, so that we can make sure that we can spread that message more and more. The way these flowers just grow more, it's to spread the message. We're good, we're amazing, we're awesome, and I want more people to be able to see me. That's how awesome I am. That's just what I see out here with everything. And that's for me to say that I see how awesome Jesus is. I see how awesome he's been able to transform my life, how awesome he's been able to do some great things for me, that I want to be able to just keep pushing that and spreading that more, so that more and more people can be able to have such a thing. Thank you.